Shalom, shalom. This is Kaparia, a.k.a. Pops, out of GMS Chicago, with another sit-down. Before I get started, though, like always, I want to send all praises, honor, and glory out to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Kakodash. To the apostles and elders of GMS out of New York, and the elder bishops out of Connecticut, I want to send double honors, because they do rule well for the brethren around the world, pushing this truth uncut, unfiltered. I want to send double honors out to the apostles and elders of GMS out of New York, and elder bishops out of Connecticut, because they do rule well for the brethren around the world, pushing this truth uncut, unfiltered, giving you the good, the bad, and the ugly of the scriptures, correctly breaking down the prophecies and the interaction with the people on the planet, declaring warning. Again, I want to send salutations, because like I said, you're out there pushing this word and declaring and taking these prophecies and showing the people what they mean and declaring war on the planet. I send salutations. Hope this is edifying. Aqua, pure and true to listen, sincere to try to keep doing so. But for the scorn and scoff of reprobate 2/3 Israelites and 17 other nations who are in the midst of Jacob's trouble, it is getting a whole lot worse. Okay. Finland's president revealed what Putin told him on a phone call. Okay. These people think they go get around this Bible prophecies and this, that, and the other, and think they go play a role in it. No, they go play their role in it, but they not go have any say-so as to how it goes down. Okay. The chief principal of Tubal, Gog and Magog, Russia, is going to do his thing, and anybody that's lining up with NATO or the EU and whatnot is going to be lining up against this power here. So this is Edomite against Edomite. As you can see, this is Finland, and this is Vladimir Putin, which is the president of Russia. And as you can see, they're both Edomites, Caucasians, as the world would like to call them. So before I turn that on and let it go there, I'm going to pull this up and show you the scriptures that this is actually making line up. So watch this. Let me go get these scriptures. Here we go. This is Isaiah 19:1 and 2. The burden of Egypt, behold, Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. Okay, the idols. What are some of the idols? This man's technology is part of his idols. Why? Because with his technology, he has amazed the world and made them think that who could actually fight against him. You know, with his technology for war and all these other kinds of things. Yahawashi, I don't give a fuck about that. But he has made the rest of the nations wonder who can fight against him. Okay? And this type of thing. But here we go. 2, I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Okay? So this is nationality of people fighting against nationality of people, but it says Egyptian against Egyptian, so you're looking at Edomite on Edomite, squaring off. Okay? All the treaties and everything that they had made, that they wrote, they didn't honor. We know about all the treaties that they wrote with the so-called Native Americans, which would be the tribe of, they call them Indians, but it would actually be the tribe of Gad and Reuben and those people. All the treaties that they wrote with them, over 400 of them, and they broke all those. So let's go get that. That'd be Isaiah 10. Break it, go down this way. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. Okay, So why did they do that? They wrote these things and treaties to make these people think that there was laws that they would even govern themselves by, and these types of things. And they didn't do it. Like I said, killed over 1 million and something buffalo to starve out the natives, okay, which was the tribe of Reuben and Gad and these types of things and all these things. So, this man is built for destruction. Okay, he's built for destruction. That's what he does. That's how he was made, and that's why it says that if it wasn't for the election's sake, all flesh would be consumed. Okay, because this man only knows how to destroy, and he'll destroy himself. If he ain't got a piece of the pie, he'll destroy himself, which is what you see the average Edomite here in America being upset about now, is that they find out that their whiteness is wearing off, and they've got no real place in society, and they part of the one percenters destructive plan to I should say they're not part of the 1%'ers destructive plan, and they can die and be taken out and squeezed out and put into subjection as slaves, just like the rest of the people, just like everybody else on the planet, as far as they're concerned. So that's why you got all this. So that's going to lead to this thing here. Let's see. Okay, this is 2nd Ezra 15, start at 14. Woe unto the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, swords in their hands, which is weapons, for there shall be sedition. Okay, sedition among men, invading one another. They shall not regard the kings nor princes, and the power of their actions shall stand in their power. So this isn't just going to be countries against countries. This is neighborhoods. This is, citizens inside of a country squaring off against each other. Okay. So this sedition that's setting up that you see going on now is basic. Okay, and these scriptures you can't get around in the process of it. So let's go over here and let this play.
Not necessarily, but I would say that was the first stage, and surely 24th of February, when they made a huge attack to Ukraine, that changed quite a lot. Well, it showed that they are ready to attack to an independent neighboring country.
So you were worried that you could be attacked?
See, and he has said, he wasn't, because see, they were known for neutrality. Finland and Sweden was known for being neutral countries. Okay, but see, she's drawn up. She's beating that drum, drawing them into this fight. Okay, matter of fact, let me back it up a little bit. But she's beating this drum and drawing it into the fight. Okay, see, and up here in the upper, you see the light blue countries there. You got the green, you got the light blue, then you got the lighter blue. That's Sweden and Finland. And you got Russia over here in the green on the right-hand side. So you got what you got going on. And they were sitting neutral. But now they're being drawn into it. They joining NATO. And Putin is letting them know, okay, if that's what you're going to do, then basically, let me get this. So you see, you got Putin now, saying that, he used to be, you see, right, let me pull this up. Okay, you got Will Smith holding 2 pistols aimed at the people that he's dealing with. And now, here, okay, you got them spread out with pistols covering the area now. Putin let them know, you're making me cover the area now, since you're not with me. let me make sure I got something to deal with you too. Because he's definitely not going to bag down. Like I said, I did sit down earlier this weekend with Brother Asha from Chicago here. And this is what I got going. You know, Putin saying, you're going to make me pull these excuse me, pull these things on you. And that was the whole thing, you know, Ukraine. You know, you think just because you are independent, small little branch of isolated supposedly freedom, because you branched off from us back in the 90s or whatever the case might be, and I took my nuclear weapons back. That has a little small piece of partial land that's on my border right here, that you can join NATO, and then they go talk you into putting weapons and things of this nature, possibly and you wind up having nuclear warheads and biological warfare and everything else, you know, coming up on my border, and I'm not gonna do anything about it. And so now you got Finland doing the same thing, or you got Finland and Sweden, you know, getting ready to do the same thing. And he's like, just saying, I don't know what you think is gonna be different and whatnot. So let's go here, and I'm gonna let this play through and deal from here.
Russia's western border is the exact opposite of what Putin said he was trying to accomplish with the war, and he told Finland's president this weekend that he was making a mistake. Here with me now, the president of Finland, Sauli Niinistö. Mr. President, thank you so much for joining me again. And just days before Russia invaded Ukraine, we spoke, and you told me you did not see any reason for, quote, dramatic, sudden changes to Finland's relationship with NATO. Here we are just 3 months later, and you've just announced you're going to formally apply to join the NATO alliance. Is this because you're worried Russia could attack you as well?
Not necessarily, but two things took place. First, Russia tried to deny any enlargement of NATO, and that changed in a way very much our position here. So far we had thought that, okay, we are non-aligned of our own will. But when they said that, that meant that we do not have any will there left. So that was the first stage, and surely 24th of...
Okay, so basically what did he just say? That they didn't have any will there. Will, look at that. Will. Ain't that ironic? Will, like Will Smith, like I said. So Putin wasn't looking at them as being a threat, because they always sat neutral. So since you sit neutral, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Okay? But then he feels offended because of that, like he didn't have any will. So like I said, so what Putin doing now? He's spreading his arms open and go start pointing shit their way too. Just so let me let you understand. I'm gonna put an observation scenario on you, and when you start when that shit starts showing up in your border, you go be in the middle of this too. See, this is how these countries go be drawn into this fight, and this, that, and the other. Okay, Egyptian against Egyptian.
February, when they made a huge attack to Ukraine, that changed quite a lot. Well, it showed that they are ready to attack to an independent neighboring country.
Okay, but see, he want to call them an independent neighboring country, but Ukraine was a branch of Russia. Okay, that branched off because Russia hit a financial slump during that time in the early and mid 90s, and Chernobyl went down, and they had to take all that money and resources and whatnot to try to keep that bottled up and all this kind of stuff, try to keep that nuclear radiation from spreading all over the place and this, that, and the other, which it did wind up some anyway. And these types of things, you know, you had Chernobyl, you had Fukushima and whatnot, and that radiation wound up getting in the water and wound up reaching the shores of America at some point in time or another. But, you know, so now, you know, like I said, this man's pride, he knows he doesn't have the firepower to square off against Russia. That's why he sat neutral. Finland. Sweden the same way. They knew they didn't have the nuclear firepower, so they sat neutral. And since they sat neutral, Putin was cool with it. But now, since you think you're going to be able to declare your borders to be able to do anything you want with them, including join NATO and possibly let them bring weapons into it, I'm spreading my will. Your will is to do that, so my will is to do this. Okay, we back to see this. I'm saying, see, this is going to become repetitive because of the fact that it's going to become repetitive because of the fact that all these things are doing what they're doing. So, in the process, these things are going to be over and over and over again. Okay, Ezekiel, Misha, son of man, verse 2. Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. Okay, Tubal is Turkey, and Turkey ain't in the middle of this. Okay, it says the Gog and Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. So Russia is a chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. So Turkey saying that, well, I'm not lining up against Russia, and I'm gonna pull that up and show you part of that too. So this is what I'm saying. So this is that, and Russia in verse 4, military might has been put back in, and a military mindset has been put back in. Well, I'm the superpower. I'm the boogeyman then. I'm the Edomite boogeyman with the nuclear power to be able to fucking fuck everything up. Don't want to play ball with me? Like I said, if I can't have a piece of the pie, nobody can. Because as far as the Edomite, the one percenters are concerned, the Rothschilds, the Oppenheimers, the Bilderbergs, the DuPonts, the Gettys, the Rothschilds, and these people, this is big business. War is big business. They figure that no matter what's going on, they can go and hunker down and let everybody bust at each other. And when it's all said and done and the smoke clears, we can hide ourselves so clean that we can come back up and start over and pick up not even start over, we'll pick up where we left off at, because we go be the ones with the money anyway, and pick up where we left off at and go from there. See? Okay. Verse 4 at the end of it. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and will bring forth and all thy army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. All of them got weapons. Okay? And to show you how Russia is actually thinking about it, they actually got a clip where they show Russia showing they common citizens how to deal with kind of hand-to-hand and weapons and this, that, and the other. So Russia really is fulfilling this scripture down to the letter. Okay? So, let's go back over here and do this.
Neighboring country.
So you were worried that you could be attacked?
See, she's drawing them in.
Not necessarily, but I would say that things were changing also, undoubtedly. And what we see now, Europe, the world, is more divided. There's not very much room for non-aligned in between. So that was also what we were thinking.
Okay, so I got to line up with somebody, so I'm gonna line up with NATO. There it is. So they go have Russia pull a pistol on them then. Okay, that's what you go do. Then fine. Let me get you to understand. You in my backyard, and when you do that, and they filibuster you into that, and talk you into doing this, and putting weapons in your borderlines like that, I'm gonna handle you too. Let me go and get this turkey thing though. You see, hold on. Let me go back here. Let me go get this turkey thing real quick.
About, I don't.
Dinner time. You plan and plan.
Flamingos are famous for their bright.
No, I don't want this. I want to go here and pull up the videos. There we go.
We'll get back to where we started, the war in Europe.
Okay. Turkey blocks NATO's expansion. See, they lining up with, this was 7 hours ago, so I'm going to let this play so you can get a chance to see Turkey ain't with it. Because Russia, which is the chief of Meshach and Tubal being Turkey, Turkey said, no, we lining up with whatever Russia's talking about. So let me let this play.
Clearly, Russia's invasion of Ukraine has had a ripple effect. While food security has been challenged, so has the security order in Europe. Let's focus on that for the moment. The security order. Russia's war in Ukraine has forced European countries to reassess neutrality, even become part of the power rivalry. Nordic countries like Finland and Sweden have chosen to pivot towards NATO. If you've been following the news, you know that both Finland and Sweden have applied for NATO membership. Turkey won't sign on Finland or Sweden's NATO application. Why does it have to? Well, because Turkey is a NATO member country, and NATO's rules are pretty clear. Any new member...
Okay, Turkey ain't gonna sign off on it, period. Okay, but Turkey is aligned with Russia. See what I'm saying? So Turkey is in NATO, but he's blocking these other countries from trying to line off on it, and all of them supposed to sign off on it. So he's working the Russian leverage from inside the system. Okay, since Russia wasn't a part of it, and Russia was denied the ability to join NATO when it was being formed, Turkey is in it, but they working the side from the Russian standpoint, period. Hey, people trying to play checkers, and Putin got chess moves going.
can come on board only if all existing members support the bid. We're talking about all 30 NATO members. Any of these 30 can veto. And Turkey is not just vetoing, it is also lobbying the others to do the same. Listen to it from the horse's mouth.
Ve biz de eğer Türkiye'ysek
We will continue this policy resolutely. We have told our relevant friends we would say no to Finland and Sweden's entry into NATO, and we will continue on our path like this. If a country says no, what can they do? What can they not do within the NATO alliance? They cannot take a candidate country. At the moment, we are also absolutely concerned about these two countries, especially Sweden, which is definitely a focus of terror, a home of terror. They also impose sanctions on us regarding weapons.
Like you heard, Turkey is citing terror as the reason for blocking Sweden. What about Finland? It does not sit well with Turkey that Finland harbors Kurdish groups. So that's the terror card yet again. But this game is not so simple. It's hard to factor out Turkey's proximity to Russia.
There you go.
Or look through the influence Putin has over Ankara. Turkey is one of the few NATO countries that has not sanctioned Russia. Reports say it has become a safe haven for the money of Russian oligarchs. Even before the war began, Turkey's ties with Russia were under the spotlight. Ankara, remember, has purchased the S-400 missile defense system from Russia. And it has been sanctioned by the US for doing so.
Okay, there you go. And they definitely could put nukes on those. That's the S-400. They could definitely put nukes on those. So what y'all think's happening? He done gave me big pistols, bruh. He done gave me big enough pistols in this region to be able to handle all of this. All of what I need to right here. So I can hold my side right here, right down. And he can come over the top. So all I got to do is be able to hold down my region right here. And he can come over the top and handle all of it. Him and China. Because if I'm hooked with him, he's hooked with China. That y'all playing chess moves, y'all playing checker moves, and Putin's got chess on the table. Okay? So this is what you got going.
Many experts are of the opinion that Turkey no longer fits into NATO. Some say Turkey could very well be Russia's secret weapon inside NATO. If that's true.
Okay. So I'm going to leave it right there. So these prophecies are going to become and be ramping up and amping up and getting more and more into the middle of this mix all at the same time. Period. Okay? And these are some of the last prophecies that have to go. I mean, you've got Russia and China, which can square off against, all these NATO countries. These smaller countries like Turkey and whatnot that's been given the S-400 missile systems that can hold nukes on them, and this, that, and the other. Okay. How you go bust at them? How you go come at them? They got it. They got to and been sanctioned against America for having them. So Turkey got nuclear capability now, but the nuclear capability didn't come from the NATO or the Western. It came from Russia. So his pistols are set to do Russia's will. Y'all stuck. Y'all stuck. Okay. Israel is not even using the American dollar now. So ain't no more neutrality. The line and that's so poetic, because the line for Yahawashi is being drawn in the sand as well. What side you on? Who you lining up with? Who you go ride or die with? What did Joshua say? As far as he's concerned, him and his house is go serve Yahawashi. Okay. So where are we standing at as men of the Lord? From the apostles on down. We standing with Yahawashi. No MOTB. Okay. Wasn't falling subject to the jab. No MOTB. And not believing in this man's system. We definitely didn't pull a Isaiah 30 and go down into Russia. I'll go down into Egypt. Okay, looking for understanding. We're not trimming our lamp, trying to find love from the system that's in place, because this system is Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. So we're not trying to find any solace and comfort in that. We're putting our trust in Yahawashi. Period. End of story. And let the chips fall where they're going to. So with that, Turkey blocks NATO. Okay. Weapons are being lined up. Isaiah 14. Where we at? Isaiah 14 becoming extremely real, and then some. 14:10, all they shall speak and ask thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? See, this was America. This is what they all did. Okay? But now the young countries, the small countries that's been given nuclear capability, you got Turkey in the middle of that. You've got Iran in the middle of that. They're not bowing down to America now or NATO. So now you got another set of problems on your hand. See, you ain't even talking about Iran right now, huh? What happened to all that? Iran's still in the background. Iran still ain't playing. Iran's still ready to bust Israel's ass and twist them up. All this sedition among men, and you saw the let's go back. Let's go back here. Okay, let's go back a little bit.
Russia, and it has been sanctioned by the US for doing so. Many experts are of the opinion.
Okay.
Plus regarding weapons.
Okay. And that's a Caucasian. That's a Edomite. That's a Caucasian too. Sedition among men. Okay. There it is. So hey, enough said. So I'm gonna keep it right there because I think I've had enough. I put some scriptures and I mixed this up enough that you can see these are the same gene pool going back to Edom. They're squaring off against each other, and that's the point. Egyptian against Egyptian. Sedition among men. So how can this nationality of man stay in this driver's seat when they all squaring off against each other? So we got Satan against Satan, and if they can't get along, how can the kingdom stand? How can 81, 84 whiteness? That's when they start calling themselves white. How can whiteness stand then if they all squaring off against each other? So with that, I'm going to send all praises, honor, and glory out to Yahawashi, Yahawashi, Hashem, Kagodash, to the apostles and elders of GMS out of New York. I want to send double honors. And the elder bishops out of Connecticut, I want to send double honors because they do rule well for the brethren around the world, pushing this truth uncut, unfiltered. Give me the good, the bad, and the ugly. Declaring war on the planet because we breaking down these prophecies and getting you the true meaning of what they mean. Hey, you brothers, stand strong, keep pushing the truth. Okay? For the hopeful elect, I hope that's edifying. Aqua, few and true. Let's listen sincere to chair to keep doing so because all this got to happen. Okay? These got to come. Okay? Okay, this is the setup of the bring down of this Edomite in front of the whole world. Okay, so it's got to happen. They got to be demonized and brought down, and all their wickedness shown and exposed, pursuant to Obadiah, before they can be brought totally down and discredited and disgraced and put in place and broken and put in slavery. And these 16 other nations that's joined to this Edomite, because it's 18 nations, and Israel is the only one that's going to be left ruling when all this shit is said and done. Okay. So for the first group of people, a hearty shalom, and for you 2/3 Israelites and 17 other nations who are in the midst of Jacob's trouble, a barber ball.